What up, guys? Welcome back to the Limitless Podcast, episode 4. We're your hosts, Gio
Hello.
and Tony. Let's get it. All right, guys. We're just going to jump straight into it. There's no beating around the bush. It's fight week, baby.
Let's get it, baby.
It's fight week.
It's happening. It's time. I'm excited.
Freedom 250, main event, Ilia Topuria versus Justin, the highlight reel, Gagey.
And then the co-main event, we got Cyril Gahn versus arguably the next or the current GOAT, Alex Poatan Piera.
I don't know about current GOAT, but definitely.
Well, I mean, for me personally, is the current GOAT. Honestly, is Ilia Topuria. He's the current GOAT.
Here we go with this bullshit,
brother. He is.
There's no way, like
he's currently, honestly, for me, he's number one pound for pound, just for the simple fact of the fashion in which he is getting these guys out of there. Now, I have become a big fan of Islam Makhachev, but currently for me, the most electrifying, the most I need to see this guy fight is Ilia Topuria.
Yes, I agree 100%. But I would still give the edge to Islam right now. Islam is probably the pound for pound number one right now. Look, as much as I love Ilia Topuria's style, boxer heavy, knocking dudes out, like starching them, right? It's hella entertaining. But you gotta think he's knocking out people at the end of their careers.
But the same, okay, so if you're gonna use that logic, right? Need I remind you, the guys that he's fought, that he knocked out, they're still going on and they're still winning fights. It's not like you could say, okay, they got smashed and they just became tomato cans. He beat Volkanovski. Volkanovski went and beat Diego Lopez twice, right? He literally 2 back-to-back wins. He went and beat Charles Oliveira. Charles goes, probably one of the most boring fights we've ever seen, right? Yeah. But he beats Max Holloway.
That was not a
now
fight.
Max Holloway, not to jump ahead, right? But Max Holloway now has a chance. Okay, he just lost. Well, sorry. So he lost first. No, actually, track back. All right. So Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje. Then Ilia Topuria beat him, and then he went and lost to Charles Oliveira. Right now, he has a chance to probably win, or if he loses, I guess you can kind of make like, okay, he became a tomato can, but not even, because he's fighting the top of the top. On his next fight, he's fighting Conor McGregor,
which he should not lose to a Conor McGregor that has been out for what, 4 years?
Last time he fought was what, maybe 2021. He's been out for like 5 years
at least. So he should. There's no way that he should lose to Mayweather.
Well,
Mayweather's still
Mayweather.
Sorry, not Mayweather. McGregor. Sorry, I got the M's confused. McGregor is still McGregor, so McGregor does still hold that power and position. McGregor's position is so underrated.
But the problem is now they're gonna be fighting at a 170 weight class,
right?
Which favors McGregor.
Well, he's never had a fight. Did he fight Dustin at?
No, he fought at 170 Cowboy Cerrone, and he pieced him up.
Right. Got him out of that. Was nasty too. That's when he was using.
I think he got him out in like in the first minute.
That's when he was using the shoulder strikes. That was sick. But that'll be a topic for another day. Going back to Ilia versus Justin Gaethje, right? Because that's the main event. That's what everybody's there to see. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, we recognize that Ilia will most likely knock him out, or can knock him out at any point during the fight.
So I'm just gonna go straight up about it. I think he's gonna knock him out. I think Ilia's gonna win by first round KO.
I don't know about
the thing is, like, Justin's gonna go forward and try to put pressure on him, and that's when Ilia should capitalize on him and probably get him out of there.
I feel like it depends on which version of Justin Gaethje shows up.
If you see the version
of Justin Gaethje as of late, he's not a smart fighter. He's never been like a super high IQ fighter, but now it's like he just brawls. He goes in there, brawls, and just throws caution to the wind. If we see the Justin Gaethje that comes in there and he rips him with leg kicks, which I personally believe that is the way to beat Ilia Topuria. You have to rip those leg kicks because he's such a boxing heavy fighter.
But see, the same was said before with Sean O'Malley. Everybody was saying, "Oh, you just gotta get Sean's legs. Oh, you just gotta kick Sean's legs."
No, with Sean O'Malley, it was always the wrestling. That was always his downfall. But with Ilia, since he's so like boxing heavy, and boxers have a very strong foundation that comes from the legs. It comes from the legs, it comes from the shoulders, but it also comes from the legs. So if you rip those legs, you're taking away his power. And I think that is the way to beat Ilia Topuria. So if Justin Gaethje shows up with those coveted leg kicks that he's known for, that he's taken people out, he's TKO'd people through leg kicks,
right?
It will be a very long night for Ilia.
But that's the thing. I don't foresee a long night. I foresee a quick night at the office for Ilia Topuria.
Of course you do. You're an Ilia fanboy.
No, but I'm not, and I'm a Justin Gaethje fan as well. I'm not discrediting that, or I don't use that to be biased towards Ilia Topuria. It's just Justin Gaethje has a habit of getting hit, and you've seen the power that Ilia brings. It's a whole nother power. So
Justin Gaethje has been in there with some heavy hitters too.
Yeah, but how many of those heavy hitters can say they got a knockout win over the likes of Max Holloway, over the likes of Charles Oliveira, over the likes of Volkanovski?
Well, I see your point, but we both know that MMA math does not add up.
No, yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying is basically, like, that's not like I have other facts, or not even facts, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just opinions. But there's a lot of things that go into my mind, basically saying, okay, Ilia is gonna get him out of there, just like that.
But that's what I always argue, and it pisses me off that you make this argument because we know, like everybody knows that Ilia should win this fight. Everybody knows that Ilia will or can knock him out. We get that, but there's so many people, and you're the main one that completely disregard the fact that it can also go the opposite way. Like people think that Ilia is invincible, he's untouchable, he's like, there's no way that he gets finished, bro. Justin Gaethje goes in there, swings for the fences, he puts power into every shot because he wants to get them out of there. So Justin Gaethje can for sure knock Ilia out, but you talk as if that possibility doesn't exist.
So the reason why I feel like it doesn't exist is for one reason only, and that's just because Justin has been hit too many times, right? Yes, everybody's got a puncher's chance in a sense, but to land the shot is a whole nother thing. And I just feel like Ilya's gonna be too quick. And if Justin starts swinging crazy, he's gonna get a left hook. He's gonna get a right hook, and it's gonna either send him back on his ass or it's gonna lead to a KO.
You got to keep in mind that there's way more than a puncher's chance. Because a puncher's chance is for a very lopsided fight where it's like an opponent's going to get dominated. For instance, the Islam versus what was the debate? Islam, was it Islam or was it Habib? Let's just use Habib versus Conor McGregor.
Right.
Obviously, Conor McGregor, they fought when Conor McGregor was pretty much done with the sport. It was after the Mayweather fight.
Okay. I would have said done with the sport, but I just think his ambition wasn't there.
Well, regardless of however you want to justify it, Conor McGregor had a puncher's chance against Habib because Habib was on such a dominant run, and they knew that as soon as he got taken down, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
So that's what you categorize as a puncher's chance. Ilia is not going to take down Justin Gaethje. Ilia wants to knock him out. He said it multiple times, and he believes that he will knock him out, which means he's going to keep the fight on the feet, and they're going to be swinging. They're going to be brawling. So you're telling me that Justin Gaethje has a puncher's chance when Justin Gaethje is known to go in the fire? He's known to get into these reckless brawls where he comes out on top, i.e. the Michael Johnson fight? Bro, that fight, he almost got finished. But
multiple times.
But he still came back and he got him out of there. Because it's just a different beast. It's a different animal. Justin Gaethje is him, bro.
Well, luckily for us, we don't gotta wait that long now.
We don't gotta wait that long because in just a few days, this Sunday, Freedom 250.
It's going down.
It's going down. And hey, we're gonna vlog it. We're gonna vlog it. We're gonna try to record our reactions. We're gonna make some pics, and just so you guys can see. But getting away from that one a little bit, one that's gonna be, in my opinion, as equally as interesting. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane.
Now that one is gonna be another one where I think it's just gonna be a standing bang, a just a pure spectacle of kickboxing.
It's gonna be a straight up kickboxing.
Now, Cyril Gane can try to get him down like he did with Francis Ngannou, but I think the one Alex Pereira's defense is probably at another level, right? He use it versus Magomed.
I no, because Magomed, it was in the second fight when Ankalaev shot, but by that point he was
Alex basically stuffed he stuffed it and got him out of there.
But I hate that argument because Pereira has not shown that level. Yes, it's because he hasn't had to.
No, right, but more so because he trains with Glover. Everybody knows the pedigree of Glover had with his wrestling.
Right. But I've always been the type of person where I believe you knowing something and you putting it into practice are two completely different things. You can know how to stuff takedowns, you can know how to get out of certain chokes, but until you're actually in that situation, that's when shit gets different. So for you to say, oh, Cyril Gane might try to take him down, but Alex will get out of it. We don't know that. We haven't seen that.
No, but more so, the reason why I say that is because everybody saw the level of wrestling that he showed versus Ngannou in that fight, right? Where he basically didn't want to feel the power of Ngannou, so he goes to the ground. He didn't do anything with it, and he ended up losing that round, and it cost him the fight, right? So I think that this is literally going to be a standing bang, and it's going to be a beauty to watch.
I will say this. In that fight that Cyril Gane had against Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane was looking
real good.
Really good. He was piecing him up.
Now, I don't know about you. Well, actually, I think I remember. Me, from the jump, I remember I was saying, Tom Aspinall, such a cow. He just wanted to weigh his out.
Which is bullshit.
No. Listen. So I was like, he just wanted to weigh out because he was losing that fight. Now, granted, it was really early on. It was still the first round. But when you see the double eye poke, you understand. But I remember in that fight itself, I was like, oh, he just wanted to weigh out.
Yeah.
Because Cyril Gane was doing real good work.
But Tom Aspinall is Tom Aspinall. Generational talent. And so he was gonna come back and he was gonna he would have turned the tide. But regardless, Cyril Gane looked spectacular in that fight. And if that version of Cyril Gane shows up to fight Alex Pereira, man, we're in for a treat. Because so far, the only other person who has been able to competitively fight with Alex Pereira in a stand-up fight has been Israel Adesanya. You can maybe make the argument that Khalil.
Actually, I would say Khalil did a lot better than Israel. The only thing is Alex got too cocky, went in, and Israel basically hit him with a what was it? Uppercut? The uppercut was the one that stung him? No,
it was an overhand.
So basically, but the one with Khalil started doing really well. But what happens? Alex had that gas tank, so Alex was able to just come back and straight up just started piecing him up.
Which is crazy that Alex has a gas tank like that.
Until he got him out of there with a TKO ultimately. So
I would say KO, but yeah.
TKO. I mean, I think they still classify it as a TKO, right? Because you're not starching them and literally just
yeah, I
right.
Guess.
So honestly, I'm excited for that one. I'm a big Alex Pereira fan. For me, it's either Pereira right now, the GOAT, or Ilya Topuria.
Yeah, you Ilya fanboy. No, but I'm a big fan of Alex Pereira as well. And bro, his fights, they're just so freaking entertaining, man.
He puts on the show for the people
every single time. It's like he wants to make sure the people get their money's worth. And you gotta respect a guy like that. So him versus Cyril Gane will feed a generation. Because if Alex manages to overcome that obstacle that is Cyril Gane, he will become the first ever 3-division champion.
And that's crazy, huh?
Now, I'll say this. Me personally, I don't really respect interim championships that much. I don't really believe that if you're an interim champion, you're not really a champion. Now it is okay. I will say this: if the champion is out, you could make the argument, right? You could make the argument that, like in this case, with the heavyweight, Tom Aspinall can't fight, so that's why they're making the interim belt. And so you could make the argument like, well, he is the champion, but the champion is Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, but with the uncertainty that is going on with his career, we don't know if he's actually gonna fight again because apparently he's still going through. He went through a lot of surgeries, right? And then now his new management is saying, "Oh, we're not fighting under this deal."
Well, his dad wanted to get him out of the UFC. Has been wanting to get him out
Right,
of
right.
the
His
UFC for a
dad is not
long time.
his dad is not the manager though.
But his dad was the one that made the initial comments that I think threw everything off. Basically saying that as soon as they were done with this,
No, right, but you know his manager is Eddie Hearn, right?
Regardless, I know, but his dad is the one that's making these comments, and I think it's causing everything to.
No, for I think what's causing this whole rift is Dana taking Eddie Hearn's boxers to Super boxing. So now Eddie Hearn is kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna try to stick it to this guy.
I don't think it's like that, but hey, I mean, you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
So the thing is, like, will we even see Tom Aspinall fight again?
But right? regardless if we see Tom Aspinall fight or not, Tom Aspinall was and is the current UFC heavyweight champion. Now, to become the new heavyweight champion, you have to beat the heavyweight champion.
So the last time that Tom fought, when he beat that fight with Cyril Gahn was what, November, if I remember correctly.
It was last year, sometime last year.
It's been so long. Now, there is cases where we see fighters relinquish the belt. They don't technically get stripped, but do you think this would have been one of those situations where you're like, you know what, Tom, when you come back, we'll pay you championship money fight, right? Because, well, actually, I don't even know if it changed for them because they no longer get pay-per-view buys, right? But let's assume it did, right? Just so I can make my point, right? All right, Tom, whenever you're healthy, you'll come back and fight whoever's the champion. But right now, I need your belt. So I'm taking your belt, and whenever you come back, you're first one to fight for it.
Yeah, but it was a whole mess with the John Jones situation too. It's like you let John carry the belt for that long, and John didn't have any major things going on like Tom does. So it's like you need to show him that same respect.
But the thing is, okay, who is John and who is Tom Aspinall?
I'm glad you asked that. John Jones is the GOAT. Yes. He's done everything there is to do in the sport. Has an amazing career. Cool. John Jones is at the end of his career. Is retired already, technically.
Yeah, technically he's retired.
And so he's done. So why, as Dana, like if you're Dana White or if you're just these promoters in general, why wouldn't you want to push new talent? And what better new talent is there than Tom Aspinall? Tom Aspinall, bro, literally the last time that we've seen a fighter like Tom Aspinall was Cain Velasquez, a heavyweight who is strong, who has amazing speed, who has ground game, who has cardio. Like that was the last time that we've seen a true heavyweight that embodies a sport of MMA.
You wouldn't say DC was a true heavyweight that because the thing with DC is
DC always liked the knockout though.
Yeah, but DC. So the reason why I say DC or why I bring up DC in general is because ultimately DC lost twice in his career.
Right.
Right.
And it was to John. Yes.
John Jones and
Stipe.
Stipe.
Yes.
So for me, I feel like okay, if we're gonna compare, or wouldn't Daniel Cormier be your standard?
Okay, fine. Let's say that Daniel Cormier is a standard. Regardless, Daniel Cormier has been retired for what? A good.
Last time he fought was 2020.
Yeah, like he's been retired for a while. So regardless, you still have this new wave of upcoming fighters, and Tom Aspinall should be the face of the future. Should be the face of the future heavyweights. So for you to ask, oh well, who is Tom Aspinall and who is John Jones? Yeah, you got the old dog that was a GOAT, that is a GOAT, the GOAT, and then you got the new dog.
So I think the reason why, because remember, they were negotiating with John Jones damn near a year, right? So I think that the reason because of that is because they were trying to push up Tom Aspinall. And how do you do that? By if he beats John Jones, he is that guy. Don't you think?
Of course.
Right? So I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, why won't they extend it to Tom Aspinall? Because I think it's more of like, okay, we respected you enough that we're trying to pay this guy whatever he wants just so that he fights you.
Okay, but that's not Tom Aspinall's fault. That's not his problem.
No, I'm not saying it's his problem, but I'm saying like his like common courtesy. No, not common courtesy. So basically, I want to say like he was given like an olive branch in a sense, right? Because ultimately, since the last time that he fought was November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 7 months. You're like, okay, Tom, I need that belt back.
That's my point, though. You shouldn't. Dude, it's a major surgery that affected both of his eyes that could possibly affect even his eyesight after his career ends.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
you owe this man, especially for everything that you made him go through, waiting for John Jones. Literally, he's in his prime. He is in his prime, and he wasted his prime waiting for John Jones, and John Jones never showed up. So you, at the very least, owe him the time to be able to recuperate and hold on to his belt.
Now, let's play devil's advocate. He doesn't fight again. He doesn't fight the rest of the year, right? He doesn't fight the rest of the year. There's a chance that he may not even fight again in his career. Why wouldn't you have this belt for arguably this year's biggest sporting event?
So I see what you're saying, and at that point, I guess you make a good point, and I would say, okay, I agree to a certain extent, because if he never ends up fighting again, then this should be a fight for the belt. But
because the thing is gonna happen is gonna be the same thing that happened with him. He won the interim belt,
and he's gonna have to defend it.
Yeah. No. He won the interim belt, and he just became the undisputed when John Jones wouldn't fight him.
Yeah, and that's just a shitty way of becoming a champion.
Because the thing is, like, you remember he cried when he won the interim. Granted, he did go out and defend the interim, right? When John Jones was going through his stuff and he was gonna fight Stipe.
Which is stupid. The fact that an interim champion defended his belt is so dumb to me.
But nonetheless, he defended the belt, right? The interim, but I just feel like, okay, you get the sense of accomplishment when you get handed the world championship belt, the UFC heavyweight undisputed championship belt. You don't get that in a sense when you just become like, oh, John Jones retired, here you go, now you just undisputed.
But I feel like that makes a question. It begs a question for a bigger argument about fighters with big layoffs and if they deserve to hold on to that belt. Because as a champion, you're a champion, bro. You should be fighting minimum 2 times a year. And that's minimum. If you cannot hold yourself to that standard of fighting 2 times a year, you should not have that belt. That's my biggest problem with like the Russian fighters. They fight 1 time a year and then make it the most boring fight of the year. Like that's my biggest issue with them. And so taking that same logic, it's like, yes, I get it. You got injured. Cool. If you're gonna be out for a long time, as a fan of the sport, because we're fans of individual fighters. We're fans of Pereira. We're fans of Ilya. We're fans of Justin. But as a fan of the sport, you want the sport to continue.
So and that's one of the reasons, or the biggest reasons, why I respected somebody so much, like Jamal Hill, when he gave it up after he got injured. Having just won the belt, he gave it up. Mm-hmm. Another one, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I just forgot his name, and I like him so much. The Samurai.
Oh,
Yuri Prohaska. And you respect someone like that because ultimately they're a fan of the sport. So Jerry was like, you know what? I'm injured. Here's a belt back. But guess what? When it's available, I'm number one.
As it should.
And he got granted that. And did he win it back?
No, unfortunately, Yuri has not been able to touch that belt again.
I thought he won it back.
I think he got the interim belt again.
No, they didn't do the interim. I thought he won it back, but I guess I could be wrong. So you respect that type of fighter, right? That ultimately say, you know what? It's for the sport. Move on.
Yeah, you definitely respect that type of fighter. But regardless of the outcome, regardless of interim champion versus regular champion or versus undisputed champion, this is gonna be a banger, no matter what. Like this fight, it will feed kickboxing fans for a long time, right? But that's not the only good fights on the card. These are the two main events, the main event and the co-main event. But we got that whole card is stacked.
And I love all these fights. The only one that I'm not too much excited for, if I'm being honest, is probably gonna be the Bo Nickel fight. Not to discredit or anything, just in general. It's just that like Bo Nickel's not a fighter that like gets me excited to go see.
Yeah, I see that. And Bo Nickal's what, fighting at middleweight?
Bo Nickel fights middleweight, yeah.
Middleweight 185.
Yep.
So the 185 division right now is also in
Kind of,
little,
it's
it's
kind
a
of
little
stagnant.
bit of a right, but yeah, I would say.
Although Sean Strickland getting the belt, at least he's gonna move the freaking division forward because now at least we're gonna have an active champion in a sense.
After he comes back from his injury, he already said that he was going to take a bit of a long haul off.
But just like the opener for the fight itself is honestly one of the biggest UFC fan favorites, right? Diego Lopez. He's taking on Steve Garcia. Now, in that type of fight as well, we know how Diego Lopez fights, right? Mm-hmm. Diego Lopez is somebody who's gonna want to try to just stand and bang with you. Now, he can submit you, right?
If he wants to.
If he wants to, but most of the time he wants to just get you out on your feet.
Yeah.
So that's a freaking
that's a great opener because Diego Lopez is a very entertaining fighter, and he has some great knockouts to his name too, and he just always comes wanting to fight.
Remember, he's got the little tick.
Remember, he represents Mexico. He represents Mexico, and you know Mexicans, we come out and leave it all out on the, well, in this case the octagon, but you leave everything out on the field, right? So it's gonna be a great opening fight. And then know the one that I'm most excited for.
Which one?
To be honest, aside from the main events, of course, the one that I'm most excited for is definitely Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis.
Actually, no. For me, is Mauricio Rufy and Michael Chandler from like not the main events.
Right, of course.
Right. For me, I just feel like that one's gonna be more exciting.
Well, my reasoning behind it is because what happened at the press conference where he was egging Derek Lewis on, and Derek Lewis unfortunately is on a little bit of a skid, but Derek Lewis, hey, he's still the Black Beast. He still has the most knockouts in the UFC, and he could definitely get Josh Hokett out of there. Now, will he?
So I'm putting all my money on Black, baby.
I don't know.
I'm putting it all on the Black Beast.
If I'm making a smart bet, though, I would definitely bet Josh, because Josh is at the earlier part of his career. Josh is on a high right now, and the fans hate him, but then they also love him. It's like a love-hate relationship.
So the reason why I'm saying, while I understand your points, Curtis Blades was touching him. You have a guy who is, for starters, has the most knockouts in UFC heavyweight history. A guy that everybody knows, if he starts putting hands on you, brother, you're going to sleep. So that logic is the reason why I'm saying. Now, the other added bonus or the other added effect to it is he got under Derek Lewis' skin. Derek Lewis is saying, you know what? I don't like this guy. I'm going to do America a big favor by knocking this motherfucker out.
But you have to remember, we're talking about a Derek Lewis at the end of his career. We're talking about a Derek Lewis. Was he like 40 already? 39, 40 years old?
40 like something.
That? 41 maybe? We're talking about a Derek Lewis who hasn't had a notable win in years. Like, this is not the same Derek Lewis from a few years ago. The one who had who did he fight? I forget what his name is. Where he came out and into a flying knee.
I think that was literally 3 fights ago, actually.
Yeah, but we're talking about a couple years. Derek Lewis did have a little bit of a.
Yeah, so
so we're not talking about the same Derek Lewis. That's the thing that kind of scares me, because if this was a hungry Derek Lewis, it'd be a no-brainer. As a matter of fact, a hungry Derek Lewis would not be an underdog.
Actually, so that's the thing though. I don't think we've ever had a real hungry Derek Lewis.
Yeah, hungry. I'm not saying hungry for the belt, but hungry to fight, hungry to prove, hungry to make money. Yeah.
So the thing is, like, his biggest fights, right, are when people were doubting him, right? And that's when he shined the most. So this is one of those where people are doubting Derrick Lewis because Josh Hokett is on a high, he's on a rise, and nothing pisses him off more than shit talkers.
Yeah.
Josh Hokett is currently the biggest shit talker.
Josh Hokett is the cringe lord for sure. Like that press conference. What was
He
his
was saying
tagline?
Chama these nuts.
No. His tagline.
Oh,
Uh,
Miami, are you?
no. It was like it was New Jersey, but it was like,
Am I right,
"Am I
man?
right, New Jersey?" Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that shit was so. That shit was so cringe, bro. But he's a cringe lord right now, and I know a lot of people want to see him get.
And
His
it's
life
crazy
split
though
up.
because if you see his interviews, it's the complete opposite.
Which I haven't really seen many of his interviews.
He kind of makes you like him.
He's humble.
Not humble in a sense because he'll still like shit talk, but he's not this bravado. He's just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this, this, and this. He ain't gonna do nothing to me.
You know what it is? I think he probably is going to Kobe route. Kobe knew that Kobe was gonna get cut at some point. Kobe Covington was gonna get cut, and he had to put on this persona, and that's what got the Kobe Covington that we've seen in the recent years. But apparently, Kobe's not really like that. Now, people have come out. John Jones, one of them, and said that Kobe's a piece of shit. But he had to put on this persona to sell fights, so he was gonna get cut. Josh Hokett, I'm not saying that he's gonna get cut, but he could also be trying to put on that persona to.
So basically, in one of the interviews, he basically said, "My coaches told me, not my coaches, my management said I have to take the interviews more serious, but the press conference is a whole another issue. It's a whole another thing." So I think he was like, "Yeah, they're gonna chama these nuts or something."
The fact that he's talking shit to Alex Pereira, which, like Gio said earlier, if Curtis Blades is touching you up, Alex Pereira will knock your head off. Like, these are two different beasts, two different animals. So he wants that money fight. He wants that money fight. But one of the more going back to your fan or your favorite, well, not your favorite, but the one that you're looking forward to the most aside from the main event, Rufy versus
Michael Chandler.
Now, that fight, hey, Michael Chandler, you can talk shit if you want.
Muscle Milk Mike. See you at the top.
You can talk shit if you want. You can say whatever you want about Michael Chandler. You cannot say that he gets in boring fights. Michael Chandler is also one of those fights that makes fighters that make every fight entertaining. Every fight. And obviously, Rufy, he's coming up, climbing the division. He wants that belt. So of course he wants to make a statement by beating one of the veterans, in this case Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a banger.
So I mean, I think this fight in general is kind of like a make or break situation for Michael Chandler. Because lose again, and where do you go from here? He hasn't had a win over anybody in God. What was his last win? It might have been when he turned Tony Ferguson into a chicken nugget.
Bro, that fight, that knockout was ridiculous.
Because Patty put the work on him. Patty destroyed him. Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. Yeah. He's only lost.
It's been a while. Make or break for him. I feel like if this doesn't go his way, he's gonna go back to his old ways, and by his old ways, I mean chasing that Conor McGregor fight again.
So the thing is like,
his only thing.
So the thing is like, okay, if he loses and Conor wins, he's not getting that fight. He loses.
Well, I mean, they had the tough
but
history.
Yeah, but think about this. They could have put him on this card, or they could have told him, you know what, he's fighting in July. McGregor's in July. You want to fight in July? They put him on this card for a reason, right? So I think like in a lose, McGregor has to lose, and then you can make that fight.
Which, like I said, I don't see McGregor beating Max Holloway.
Now, if by some miracle Michael Chandler wins, because I think Mauricio Rufy is probably gonna win this fight, but if some miracle Michael Chandler gets the win, even if Conor loses, then you're kind of in a position where like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, if Michael Chandler wins, I think we can definitely expect the Conor McGregor call out.
Yeah. Conor McGregor, you gonna come back and fight me?
And well, by that point, I mean, if Conor loses, then Conor's always gonna be the money fight. He's always gonna be the A side, no matter what. But if Chandler wins and McGregor loses, then finally Chandler has a little bit of pull because Chandler will never have pull on McGregor unless that.
No, but even then, even that's that's the thing though. Even if Connor can go ahead and lose 2, 3, 4 fights, Connor is what the fans love to
Yeah,
see.
he'll always be the ace.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I just don't. It's
But
hard.
at least coming from a win, then you have some type of negotiating room.
Okay, so here's the thing though. If Connor wins, even if Michael Chandler wins, right? I remember Nate Diaz said the UFC wanted him to fight Connor, but he didn't want to fight a Connor that's been losing. Now Nate Diaz has no leg to stand on
He
because
just got destroyed by
boy's been a
Masvidal.
freaking
He's a punching bag.
yeah, pretty much.
He's a punching bag.
But ultimately, they have the trilogy.
They have
Trilogy?
the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the trilogy, but I don't see that happening.
So, but the thing is, like, Connor just has so many possible opponents.
I think Connor's just got like a one and done kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, he was talking about he wants to renew his contract. Now, you're Dana White. Of course, you're gonna do it for a few reasons. You want to lock him up so he doesn't go to Netflix. You want to lock him up so he's basically just tied to you in for all eternity in a sense, right? But I don't know. I just feel like Michael Chandler's not gonna win. Now, Michael Chandler could possibly make somebody a lot of money one day because he's gonna be a big underdog again, right? But I just don't see him beating Mauricio Rufy.
I'm putting my money on Michael Chandler, and we're gonna see
Muscle Milk Mike.
But then we have the one that's probably the least talked about fight, the fight with Sean O'Malley.
See, the thing with that one, and that's just because I feel like Sean was just so mellow. Sean has been like
he's been reborn. Merab humbled him. It's literally that simple.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but also I think it's just we go back to the same thing that you and I have talked about always. All of these freaking media, MMA media, all of them, they ask the same boring fucking questions. And you have Sean O'Malley, right, who at his peak in the company, asking all these questions, and then he takes a break from social media. So now you don't really have much content on him to make questions about. And it's just like they're always just gonna ask the same same questions.
Yeah, but the fact that he didn't get asked one question in that press conference.
No, I think he got asked one.
He didn't get asked anything. Zero.
No, he did because I remember he was given he gave a response.
There was we're talking about the same press conference
where they did Chama these nuts.
Where Josh Hockett was talking shit to
yeah,
Pereira.
He got asked one question.
He did not get asked a single question.
And I remember I think it was MMA Guru or somebody asked him like how did he feel about that. He's like, I don't care, like I'm still me. But I just feel like that kind of does, or it could also be this. All right, so I'll make 2 points. Either he lost star power, or there's just bigger star power in that card.
He lost star power the first fight that he lost to Murad. That like they tried to build Sean O'Malley up as the next star for so long.
But also you don't give credit to the star power that has Ilya, the star power that has Alex.
Their star power doesn't diminish Sean's star power. It's
no, but
but
if you remember correctly, all the questions were basically asked only to them.
But why? Sean O'Malley is not a star anymore. After those losses that he like everybody knows that Merab has his number. No matter what Sean does, no matter who he beats, Merab will come back and will beat him. So of course his star power diminishes.
So the thing for me with Sean O'Malley though is, I guess for him, he does have a puncher's chance.
Yeah,
versus Merab.
100%. We saw it in the second fight too.
But
in that final round, he caught him with a body shot, but he just couldn't capitalize.
But
sorry, the first one.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. But yeah, I mean, Merab is one of those fighters that you literally have to outwork, and I don't know if he's willing to outwork him.
It's not if he's willing to. I don't think he can. I don't think he can outwork Merab because Merab is a machine. Literally, dude's a monster, right? But we got this upcoming fight versus Zahabi,
the Canadian Ariel Helwani.
I
mean, they're both technically from Canada,
but this fight, it's not talked about as much because I don't really see Zahabi winning. Now, the last fight Sean had versus Song Yadong, it was a great fight and it was a very dangerous fight because Song Yadong is extremely underrated. And there was some moments there where Sean was in danger.
Yeah. So the thing with Sean, I think that fight also, right? His confidence being shaken up, you kind of feel like you need this to breathe. So I feel like we may get a more calm, more relaxed Sean O'Malley. But also the same thing is could be said about Zahabi because Zahabi could make a name off of beating him. His last win, literally, I don't want. Did he dominate? I don't think he dominated. I think it was kind of like a split decision win, if I remember correctly. But he beat um, what's his name?
I don't remember the last.
No, it was the Chito Vera. Damn, I can't believe I forgot his name. He beat Chito Vera, right? So now they have an opponent in common, right? I think Sean O'Malley had a more impressive win over Chito Vera, but this is a good fight for Zahabi because if he gets through Sean O'Malley, honestly, his next opponent could be fighting for the belt. Now, Sean wins. I think still the next fight in their division is going to be Merab and Yan.
Yeah,
has to be right, the rematch. But if Sean wins, now he's got a case to make. Like, okay,
they probably would book the fight versus Peter.
I don't know if they would book the one versus Merab.
Yeah, they'll probably skip Merab to book the fight because at the end of the day, the UFC cares about stars. The UFC cares about the big money fights, and of course, if Sean can reclaim that belt, he will be a bigger star than Merab. He already is a bigger star than Merab.
Actually, Merab
has a fan base.
Yeah, but his social media content, just everything that like surrounds him, he's likable.
He's likable, yes, but there's a difference between being liked and being a star. Sean O'Malley has that star power. Sean O'Malley had people dyeing their hair, bro, trying to be like him. Like that's star power. So it's a make or break. Well, I don't think it's a make or break for him. I hope that we see the version of Sean that's more relaxed, more like a sniper, because that was always the case that I made versus the Merab fights. I'm like, Sean is a striker. He is a sniper. All he's gonna do is touch his chin, and
we were both expecting just like a left hook and go to sleep.
I was expecting a straight right hook or like a straight right. But yeah, Merab's a different beast. But this fight is gonna be great. I hope he walks out to his OG song, right? Because I remember he changed it up a few fights ago. And then he comes out and puts on a great performance for this amazing card. But yeah, guys, we have a great weekend in sports coming up. We will be vlogging our trip because we will be taking a trip to Louisiana to go place a couple bets on the fight. So stay tuned for that. Also follow our short content as well. We post shorts on YouTube regularly too. Stay tuned for the vlog where we make our picks and stuff as well. And hey, we'll see you guys in Louisiana. Peace.